Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Noel's House Party. Just before we get into it, let me read out some lovely comments that I've received from a few people. There we go. So, Fan YT1893, not sure what your name is, do let me know. She says that she's not sure that Noel knew he was going to get squirted in the face with water. On the other hand, he did seem to acknowledge being interrupted quite quickly. Whereas if someone's just sort of shouting, no, while you're presenting a live television programme, you probably just sort of ignore it. So yeah, I agree. It's hard to... Maybe he was told something will happen. There'll be a little surprise for you, but he didn't know what it was going to be. I don't know. Or it could just be completely contrived. I don't think we'll ever know. She also said that she's loving the videos. Thank you very much. And she's also agrees with me that the DLT gotcha won't be as good as they're hyping. No, I don't think it will be. However, what I'm going to do is a little character assassination of DLT at the start of that episode, because I'll be honest, I don't really know who he is. All of my frame of reference for DLT comes from an episode of the Cheap Show podcast from many years ago, where they go through a Top of the Pops annual from 1975, and a really arrogant sort of bit of journalism is in there, apparently written by DLT, where he says how he's going to be on TV and he's going to be a big name and he's going to have his own TV show one day. Basically, he wants to be Edmonds, right? He wanted DLT's house party, but he never got that. He never got that. So we'll do a little investigation and a character assassination of that. I'm sure. Also, another comment from David Carroll that the Leslie Nielsen better have been paid well to appear on this rubbish. Total legend. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I don't know how much they are paid. I mean, some of them seem to be on it to advance their career, right? Like the people who are being gunged from Neighbours or whatever. They're just trying to sort of raise their profile so they can sell tickets to a pantomime in Leicester or something. But I'm imagining that Leslie Nielsen does not need to raise his profile and all that kind of thing. So I don't know. I think he probably would have been paid. They probably had to pay him something. But yeah, it's interesting. It's quite a big name for Noel to get. And you could sort of tell that Nielsen was just sort of going on and doing his stuff and getting on with it in the face of Edmonds trying to derail him. He did a good job, I think. He did a good job. Anyway, right, let's get on with it. Let's get on with episode 10 of this total nonsense. So I had some interviews this week on Microsoft Teams and on the telephone. They seem to go quite well. We'll see what happens. So I'm still going to be able to do enough of these videos to produce one a day at 7 p.m. But we'll see how we get on. Otherwise, it's going to take quite a while to get through 169 episodes, isn't it? And I don't want this to become my whole fucking life. I do about one a day, and then sometimes I do 2 or 3 or 4, depending on what's going on. So.
Welcome to the house party. I have to admit, you rather caught me unawares there. I was just turning on the dishwasher. She's got a thing about blokes with beards. Actually, I quite
That's good.
upon a lady last week on NTV.
He does this thing now, doesn't he, where he starts the show from the balcony. That's a little bit more interesting.
Gene Moore. The incomparable Gene Moore. It's amazing what you get ladies to do, and I think that's the reason why Gary, on Wait Till I Get You Home, is so totally confused about the opposite sex.
Do you like girls?
Well, sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
Because I only like him a bit because my dad says never get married because the women are trouble. My mum's trouble.
More like your dad's a bit of a cunt and your mum can't put up with it anymore.
I got your Oscar is going to a man who's had some epic battles, fighting it out with Hurricane Higgins and Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry. But this time, Dennis Taylor really has met his match.
Oh, you wouldn't have thought they would have gone round a queue, would you?
No, all the people that like me are usually over 60.
Why?
Well, I don't know.
I think you're cute.
I don't know. They just seem to me, all my best fans are over 60. I'm quite happy about that.
Oh, it's made me all sad.
This seduction thing is getting a bit... it's getting a bit dangerous, isn't it? What if one of them sometimes just goes, come on in, and just gets his knob out?
Dennis Taylor will be joining us now in Grab a Grand. I hope we will be making somebody this evening a millionaire. And, of course, different people will come to the door here at the house in Crinkley Bottom. I'll have some surprise guests. And thanks to NTV, you might have some surprise guests.
Come on, the picture quality is a bit shit on this recording, isn't it?
Crinkley Bottom Observer, as always.
It's jumping all over the place.
We've been troubled. We've been troubled by angry rumblings in our Crinkley Bottom. The police have issued a picture of a man they want to talk to. He's not done anything wrong, but they're so lonely they want to talk to him. And the local
That's a
nature
good
lovers
joke.
have now got very militant. In fact, they beat up a fox for wearing a fur coat. But there have been celebrations in Crinkley Bottom. There's a lovely story here. The oldest living post office clerk retired. And in fact, all of Crinkley Bottom queued up to wish him well, and he said, go to the next window. The story that really caught my attention is that millions of people all over the UK have been putting extra telephone lines in ready for the Crinkley Bottom gunged game. I wonder why that could be. I wonder who will be going
There's a
into
couple
the
of good
tank
jokes
this
there.
week. We would like you to telephone us first.
Ah.
They're hungry for blood. Can you believe it? We've got a married battler, and as you've already identified on my right-hand side, that fine broadcaster Derek Jameson.
Hello.
Very good evening to you. Very nice to meet you.
He's more of a journalist. He's not really a broadcaster. I looked him up and he's just a journalist who gets invited onto things.
Ellen, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Prepare your defence. I will allow the gentleman to go first. Derek, what do you think?
No, you know me, I'm as good as gold, aren't I? And I've got a lot of enemies. The Toffee Nose Brigade, they don't like the way I speak, like a lorry driver's mate.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't give them any ammunition, would you?
No,
you wouldn't let them laugh at me.
No, of course not. You haven't been eating my gunge, have you?
No, my agent...
He was an
manager
editor
said, "I'm afraid
at
you're gonna have to
various
work
different
this Saturday.
newspapers.
No football for you. And I said, oh, God.
And you know what the papers were like in the
Noel
90s? They were
Edmonds. Oh, no,
awful.
not that Noel
Well, they
Edmonds.
still are.
Looney with the beard.
They had a lot of power.
Can you get me the phone? Ellen, I understand. Be quiet! Ellen, I understand that you're now carving out quite a career as an astrologer, so presumably you know the outcome.
That's right.
So he pays his wife to make up a load of old
I do think
bullshit
that using my astrology,
and get paid for it.
I have to tell you, I'm the world's first romantic astrologer in
Yes.
the Sun newspaper. And
Nonsense.
Derek's Sagittarian, right? So he is always outspoken, fiery, upsetting people. I'm Libra, and you see, I'm charming, nice, kind, peace-loving.
And full of
I
shit.
think it should now be... It should now
Put them both in.
the case for the defence. I think it should now be your decision. If you think that it should be a Derek, Mr. Jameson, it's 0891 800 311. If you think that it should be Ellen, it's 0891 800 322. I can't imagine... I can't... We're all going to be next door using the phone. So we'll see them in a little while. But
In
now,
some
it
respects,
might be
she's
bad
worse because
singing,
she actually
but it
makes
is
up a
good
complete load of
morning.
shit.
Hello, hello,
And you can't believe any of it, whereas he makes up a load of shit and says it's real. Oh, here we go. Hello, hello.
How lucky we are that these fine people have journeyed all the way here to Crinkley Bottom. On my right, we have Edith. Edith, good evening. Of course, Edith is René's wife. And Edith's singing voice has been
they're in
described as
character.
like a bag of spanners being sucked down a waste disposal. Next to her husband, René, cafe proprietor. And when trying to evade capture, British servicemen make for René's cafe. They, of course, have heard that René's...
This was after his car accident. He's got that bloody great big scar on his head. And his eyes aren't level anymore.
Hello, Helga. She's laid down
Poor
her
guy.
all for the fatherland, often. She tells me that she's a music lover, but she's just as happy when the radio isn't on anyway. So then there's Lieutenant Gruber. Hello, Lieutenant Gruber. A little known fact. In 1943, Lieutenant Gruber left the SS with a dishonourable discharge. It was, in fact, their highest honour. Just tell me one thing. I've been always dying to know. How do you people manage to get the towels on the sun loungers before anybody else? So on we go! Down we go with the very first tune! Go!
Oh, they're wartime ones. Oh, the tracking on this recording is abysmal. Sorry, everyone.
I think I was right. Spanners down the waste disposal. It's number 3.
Oh God, this is terrible. I'm very sorry.
Yes, Tommy there, good. 16 Score's going up now from 16. They've doubled it to 32, played 6. Edith, for goodness sake, carry on with this one. It's too well known for words. Go!
Oh, who are you singing along with? The audience. Everyone's singing a different rate, different tempo.
You see why in our village she is known as the singing defective.
That's good. You had that one ready. That's good.
Darling, I remember the way you used to wait.
Not aware of that one.
Rocking ahead, 20, 48. I think the judge was a bit lenient there. It wasn't Lamplight's Lantern, but on we go, 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 go!
Thank heaven.
Chevalier with a German accent. I was captivated by that. 20 plays, 64 to Gruber!
Oh, the Nazis won. I loved Allo Allo, but if you think about the actual concept of it.
Who on earth could be coming to the door at this moment? Come on, Nigel, keep up!
Hey, he was funny. He was funny. Arthur Bostrom, I think he was called. Officer Crabtree.
I have been enveloped by the crinkly bottom fag.
Oh dear.
Safe now.
Good morning, Mr. Oddmans.
That was good.
We have had some complaints about the nose.
Complaints about the nose?
Yes, your lyric goom is making people go deaf. Let me rude you one of the complaints. It sounds like a bear with a sore bim being chased round the knickers yard.
Who's been making these complaints?
The noobers.
You're talking about the nearest neighbours. 2 miles away.
Exactly. Now, who has been making the racket?
Well, we had Gruber here, and Helga, and René, and Edith.
Ah, Edith. No wonder people have gone deaf. If I were you, I would tell them to get on their bicycles and pedal off. Good morning.
It's all very simple. Simple humour, but if you do it well, and keep doing it,
Karen knows mum's a gas.
you can get good results.
Denise knows
And I
not to
think
know.
that's the beauty of Allo Allo, is that it does it with conviction. It keeps doing it, and it sometimes you expect it, and it's still funny, and then other times you don't expect it, and it surprises you.
Now let's have our
Yeah. I think that was the thing with that programme. It just
voting. Let's find out which of the Jamesons is in the lead.
got there
Can we
in
now
the end.
see the computer? The tally so far on the phones. Don't worry, Derek. We do have the means for a recount if it is that close in the end. Maybe the Jamesons, we'll see them again in a little while. Now, the lovely thing for me about doing this show
this is almost
I imagine
unwatchable,
what people
this
are saying
jumping
when they're
around.
watching
I'm very
it.
sorry,
and probably
everyone.
at this moment, there's a husband and wife on a sofa somewhere, and she's saying, well, I hope that NTV doesn't come here. You know, I'd kill you. I'd get a divorce if you allowed that to happen. And he's going, well, we'd never have the kids on Wait Till I Get You Home. Imagine being that embarrassed. It's time for Wait Till I Get You Home.
These have gotten better over the series. They've actually gotten embarrassing. I think they started off just as a little stage school rat being given the opportunity to speak on camera. Whereas now I think they're starting to get genuinely embarrassing.
He said large dungeons can be big sellers. So, let's meet Teresa and Ralph.
Oh, do shirt up, mate. You're giving Edmonds a run for his money. Green trousers and a big open shirt.
Immediately get down to business. It's Gary. How would you describe your little horror? Gary.
He's very, very bubbly and outgoing.
Yeah. How would you describe him, Ralph?
Like a cross between a gnome and an atomic bomb.
All right, well, let's immediately get on to your little atomic bomb. We're playing for a foot spa. The foot spa is...
Oh, my God, everyone wanted them.
And I asked him where all his fish have gone.
Oh.
Now, did he say, I'm not sure, but that bloke down the chippy doesn't look me in the eye anymore? Or they ran away, or they're down the sewer, we're playing for a foot spa, or something else?
Probably visiting the bottom of the toilet.
You think the man in the chip shop's had all these fish?
He'd come out with something like that.
Gary wouldn't. No, that's a bit time.
Go on then, what do you reckon?
Visiting the bottom of the toilet.
The toilet? Where have your fish gone then?
Down the sewers. My dad flushes them down the toilet.
What do you think they're doing down the sewer then?
Just lying there. With the turtles.
Oh, the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, yeah, or Ninja Turtles, or they were ninjas in America, weren't they? But that's be heroes in Britain. Yeah, I forgot about them.
Knew who the Prime Minister was. Now, did he say that's easy? It's the bloke who lives at number 10, or did he say, of course I know, but I've forgotten his name? Who hasn't? Or did he say Ramsay MacDonald? Or none of those?
To be honest, I don't think Gary cares who the Prime Minister is.
Do you?
Not really.
No, probably another answer. I don't think he'd know who he was, actually.
You don't think he'd know who he was?
I don't think so.
Do you know who the Prime Minister is?
Yeah, I forgot his name now.
What does he look like?
Well, he's got hair curled over, and he's got glasses. Margaret Thatcher's the first, and then he took over.
Mr. Major? John Major?
Yeah, that's it, John Major.
You think he's a good Prime Minister?
Yeah, but I think Margaret Thatcher was the bestest.
And what does Mrs. Thatcher do now?
She lives in number 10. Can't remember what the road is now.
That's a radical viewpoint from someone from the north in that time. Or for anyone, to be honest.
I've got to ask him, what's the naughtiest thing he's ever done? Now, did he say, I helped an old lady halfway across the road? Or I cheated on my eye test? Or I set booby traps around the house? Or has he done something naughtier?
Put a cat flap on the budgie cage.
It's the third one. He set booby.
You poured a kettle in a budgie cage. What?
I went to see Home Alone and my dad. We came home and I remembered all the things that Home Alone, the boy, did to trap the burglars, and a few nights later my dad went to work to do night shift, and I set in traps in case I thought we had burglars, so I put drawing pins all up the stairs, and my dad tried on one, and my mum tried on one.
What did they say?
They said, why did you put them up there, and the string tied to the door, because my dad nearly broke his neck on it.
All in all, you were lucky that he wasn't there with
Wow.
the baseball bat as well.
I haven't managed to get that far.
Mini colour TV. Mini colour TV. Okay. So we started talking about football and then well-known footballers. So I asked him what's so special about Paul Gascoigne. Now, in Gary's estimation, is it that he can cry
He's
naturally?
drunk all the time.
That he's a good footballer? He's not a girl? Or something else? What do you go for?
He's a good footballer.
Yes, I think a good footballer.
What's so special about Paul Gascoigne?
He's a good footballer. But sometimes he cries and he argues with the referee.
What do you think when you see that?
I think he's a bit old to do that.
He is. Well done.
They're on a winning streak. We started off talking about heaven, and we're now playing for the Dowager Duchess Gnome. Where does God live, was the next question. What do you think your little lad said? Did he say, in our loft? Because every time Dad goes up there, he says, oh my God. Or he's got a nice little...
If they'd have asked me at that age, I would have said he doesn't exist.
Up in the sky? Or is God somewhere else in Gary's estimation?
Somewhere else.
I genuinely would have said that because of all the shit I'd seen.
He lives up the sky, I know that.
What, with the planes?
Mm.
Well, I've been up in a plane and I've never seen God.
But he has an earache when the planes come past.
So, I think we ought to meet the man himself.
What, an
and find out a
earache?
little bit more.
I thought you said an air raid. I was like, what? Okay, an ear raid.
What's all this running down the stairs waving? I've got to know this. How much did you tell your mum and dad about our chat?
Just the things what we had to chat about.
Have you told them about the important bit?
No. I don't know what the important bit is, so.
I don't believe you.
Don't believe me?
I asked Gary what could I get him that he doesn't already have. Did he say a pair of Gazza's crutches? A pound of haddock? A mountain bike? Or something else?
Definitely a mountain
The
bike.
haddock, that's what I thought. What would you most like?
A mountain bike, because when I went up the pool way, I tied it and I put the key and I left it in there and somebody knew the number and then they nicked it.
Oh,
You had your last bike stolen. And I
That's a
can
shame.
do something about that.
give him the bike and then the computer, then he's up.
You won't get a bike stolen at all. So there you go, there's your present. Oh, come on, you know me better than that. Here we go. Sorry, Mr. Noel. We run out of cuddly toys. Oh, right. Thank you, Grace. There we go. Gary, thank you very much indeed.
Well, now he's just got a bike again. So he's no better off than he was before. We should give him a computer and a bike. Come on, Noel, cheap sod.
Hello, my name's Susan and I'd like to vote for Derek Jameson to get home.
Oh, excuse me a moment. That must be another guest at the door.
That was fun.
Oh.
Hey, Laura Batty. There's people wolf whistling.
Stupid boy! You always open the door to strangers.
Well, yes. None of my friends will come here.
I should think not. Anyway, I've come about the advert in the paper.
You have?
Yes, the one for the housekeeper's job.
Oh. Oh, that ad.
Well, what do you mean?
It's all right. I've just got a number of ads running at the moment.
This is the one that starts. Immensely talented, devoted TV star.
Yeah, they all start that way.
I see. Yes, here it is, see. Immensely talented, devoted TV star requires housekeeper. It's the next bit I don't understand.
Oh, right.
West Ham for the cup.
Well, you get 12 words for £3, you see. So, anyway, I don't think you're suitable for the job.
I'll be the judge of that.
No. The point is, you see, this is the BBC, and we have a lot of antiques, priceless gems around the place, you see, and so you have to be used to dusting off old relics.
I know. I've seen grace and favour. Now, what time do you get up?
5:30?
Well, that's far too early.
Well, the show...
So that, Grace and Favour, that was a little jab at the revival of Are You Being Served? So Are You Being Served, that one with I'm Free and Mrs. Slocum's Pussy and all of that stuff. They brought that back, and the premise was that Mr. Grace, who owned the Grace Brothers department store that they all worked in, had died and had left them collectively, left everyone in that clothing department a house, a stately home or something, which they all lived in and ran or something like that. And it was basically dusting off all the old shit and bringing it back. I think it ran for a couple of seasons. And then that was it, because of course it was shit. So
it doesn't start 10 to 6, you know. Anyway, look, if you want the job, I need more information. I mean, why did you leave your last employer?
Well, I went into service when I was 14. When I was 16, I had a child, and the family took it in and brought it up as their own.
Oh, that's nice. Oh.
At 17, I had another. They adopted that as well. When I was 18, I had twins. And they took them in too. Then I left.
Why?
Because when I started, I didn't know they were going to have all those kids.
Were you never married?
No. I'm working out with a gentleman at the moment. He's an estate agent. He was. But he's going straight now.
Cool, the crowd is very heckly, aren't they? Like they're at a fucking pantomime.
Prime Minister? The
Very
Queen?
judgmental.
Tony Blackburn, you've worked for all these... You've worked for all these people?
No, I told you I made up a list.
We have some very, very strict rules round here. Breakfast, I like my breakfast at 7:30.
Oh, that's fine. You'll be out of the way well before I get up.
When I come home at 7 o'clock, I like my dinner on the table.
Oh, that means I don't have to wash a plate.
And I like the cutlery polished so I can see my face in it.
Why? Now, about the salary.
Oh, no, that's all right. I get enough from the BBC, actually.
Mr. Edmonds, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I can't take this job.
Oh. Why not?
Oh, I've seen it all before. At first, two people work happily together.
Mm-hmm.
Then, because they see each other every day, an attraction develops. Then it becomes obsessive. And then finally, it grows into a destructive lust.
I don't think you'll have any problem from me on that score.
Oh, no. I was talking about myself. Oh, I couldn't stand the shame.
That was a bit in and out, some of that. She's a good actress, though. She didn't quite make as much of nothing as some people have, but it was all right.
Or someone with hidden talent.
He was good, that bloke.
And now, live from Crinkly Bottom, it's NTV! It has to be said, this is dangerous live television because I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, at this time last week, I had a woman on the carpet even. So I've got... Come on. Synchronised swimming and whatever. So what are we going to do this week? Well, I thought it'd be a nice idea to go to Scotland this week. Then I changed my mind because
The picture's settled down a bit, isn't it? I just saw it wobble there for a moment. Realised it hasn't wobbled for quite a while.
Let's go to Southampton. Hello, John Gress. Hello, John.
He doesn't seem
How are you?
that surprised.
Okay. You're very laid back. Did you know we were coming?
No.
You'd have dressed better, wouldn't you, if you'd known we were coming?
She's sitting there, though, in a funny position.
It's great. The letter from your wife is just brilliant, John. It
They've
says,
not got
"Dear
enough
Noel,
seats."
please make my day and bring your crinkly bottom to my home. And do my husband John. He's always laughing at the faces of the people who do get caught. And I think you'll be able to catch him out because he was so wrapped up watching last week's show that I wrote the letter nominating him while I was sitting next to him. Is that true?
I thought I was writing a CV for work.
I think you might be writing a CV for a new marriage, the way this is going. Everything all right, John? Had a good day?
I wondered why they come round to see me.
Yes. Yeah, they're all...
I see, they've not got enough seats and they want to
It's a bit mean, isn't
keep
it?
out of the way.
I've got a little secret about you. It's quite nice down here. It says, my husband John is definitely a large roll short of a picnic. And I took this photo of him to prove it. I mean, is this really a photo of a grown man? And I think I know exactly what you mean. Any other relics and souvenirs, John, that you'd be a little worried if I had in my possession?
See, I was thinking about this the other day. Now that back in the day, you used to have to get a film camera and take a photograph of someone, and there was only how many were on a film? It was either 24 or 36, right? And then you'd have to go and get that developed, and you couldn't see the photo before you took it because it was just a point and click, and then like that means that there was only a small number of photographs. And taking photos of people just sort of being silly in the house, well, in my family, that didn't ever seem to be a thing. That, a camera, if you had a camera with a film in it, that was reserved for holidays, something happening in the garden, a day out, or something like that. It wasn't just... Now that cameras are absolutely everywhere, people have got hundreds of photos of them just being stupid and doing stuff in the bath or doing stuff in the house. Whereas back then... It was like, oh no, there's a photo of me in the bath. Oh my God, imagine that. I've never had a photograph of me taken in the bath. Oh, I can't. It was now. It'd be like, I put a photo of me in the bath on my dating profile. I put like bubbles all around me and bubbles on my head and did a selfie and put that on my dating profile. Whereas I think then, this stuff is hugely embarrassing, because cameras weren't everywhere. And even if they were, people are like, my dad used to go, I'm not going to waste film on that. I remember taking like a whole reel of pictures at a party once as a kid, and like a family pie. And my dad literally said, we're not going to have that film developed because I'm not going to pay money to see those pictures that you've just snapped off of just the same people sitting in the same chairs as we've already got photos of.
I mean, is there anything in particular that... sorry, I'll just put these on. You'll see why in a moment. Is there
Pyjamas?
anything in particular that you would, think, well, maybe I wonder if Jackie's nicked that?
Pants.
Sorry, John,
Shitted pants.
Go on then.
Now, do you want to say what it is before I get it out?
It might be something else.
Yeah. Shall we have a deal? Shall I say I won't show it if you tell me what you think I've got?
No, go on then. You do it.
Oh, all right. Well, we've got his posing pouch. Was that what you thought I was going to get out? Was it?
Well, that's probably worse than what I thought.
You've had me wondering if you thought you got off lightly.
So just like a little bag that you put your cock and bollocks in.
You're quite a dramatic person. You like an acting role, and that your answer phone is worth listening to. Is that true? How often often do you...
I'd be more embarrassed to have that on than to just be naked.
Yeah. There's only been the one?
Yeah. I'm thinking of changing it now, though.
Are you? Well, we ought to hear it then before you change it.
Me and my lady are stepping out, but we'll call you back without a doubt. We don't know who's on our phone, so leave your name and your number after the tone.
That's all right. That was all right. Rap always used to be novelty in the UK back then. You never had serious rap. The idea of doing a rap was a joke.
You're a bit rude, aren't you?
My upbringing.
Do come back. Don't give him any. Don't let Noel give him shit.
John, in the letter that Jackie sent, she said that you'd be really vivacious and outgoing, and I'm doing all the work here.
I'm too embarrassed.
Did his mate go and open the front door then
John,
to let someone
I
in?
didn't want to embarrass you in any way. I wanted to bring out the best in you. I understand that you're very keen on sport and that you always watch it rather than participate. Right, yeah. But you've worked out a little routine that you do of sporting impressions. But this is now your chance to be a star of NTV, John. I'd hate to think of you being embarrassed. So if you wouldn't mind just showing us what you do, please. We've got some music to go with it to make you feel at ease. So we'll run the music and you do your bit.
I'll do it. This is my speed skating.
Yeah, speed skating? That's good. That's very good. That's very good. Very good. Yes, what else? Bit of skiing?
Free fall parachuting.
Free fall parachuting, love it, love it. For a man who was embarrassed.
13 million people watch this.
Now, John, just between you and me, if I show you this, do you get frightened at all?
Yes.
Why would this frighten you, John?
Well, what are you going to do with it?
I
Steady now.
understand you're not that keen on come dancing.
Oh, no.
No, and the people who appear on Come Dancing tend to drive you a little bit round the twist. Yeah, I think people could
He went to open the front door, didn't he? His mate.
He sympathised with you. Now, we've got the costume for you there, John. We've got the costume, and just while you slip into it, if any of this has promoted in your mind the idea that there's a friend or relative that you would like to have as a star of NTV and lose as a friend for the rest of your life, here's the address. It's room 3305 at the BBC Television Centre, Wood Lane.
Vision
London,
mixer had a little bit of a problem there. Press the wrong button.
NTV. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for
Which I've done already once in this video.
Dancing's Brazil. Go with her, John. Well, I must say, John, for a man who didn't like Come Dancing, you did remarkably well. John Grist, thank you very much for being a star of NTV. Thank you, John.
It's hard to work out how genuinely entertaining it was at the time, because nowadays we're just so accustomed to, people get a camera out and go, "Oh, I'm filming this," and people go, "Yes, so what?" I've been on videos, I've been on Instagram, I take photos of myself, I take videos of myself. It's not embarrassing. As I think back then, it's quite difficult to judge how embarrassing that was. The people in the room were very low energy. They're all just sort of sitting there going, "Oh yes, no, no, no," Oh yeah, all right then. I might do that, Noel. Yeah, it was quite a calm one. I thought the woman last week swimming on the floor, she was a bit more embarrassed.
Don't forget, if you'd like to play for really big money, this could be your chance. We're going to stick with the sporting theme. There's a test match going on in New Zealand at the moment. On the fourth day of the test, we want to know how many fours will be scored. Give us a call on 0891 404 505. 0891 404 505.
I've got no frame of reference whether it's 7 or 200.
Fourth day of the test match. Here now.
I've got no idea.
Who scores a lot, but at a totally different game, and he's really getting the big prize tonight. The Gotcha Oscar for Dennis Taylor!
Snooker player, wasn't he? Dennis Taylor, snooker player. Yeah, oh yeah. Looks a bit like a vicar.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh right, I didn't know what that was round his neck. Is that embroidery or something?
On behalf of the BBC. And now, did we give you
it was a dog collar.
Or weeks of training?
They gave me 15 minutes training. But what I didn't let them know was I used to be a salesman in Blackburn when I first came over to England, and I thought I'd have one over on them, thinking I was going to be quite good at it. But little did I know.
So you never met people like this?
Well, it was absolutely brilliant.
There were some.
Have they just done the Andy Peters one again? Have they?
Contact with, starting with a lady who has a slight hearing problem, moving on to a lady who had a slight Dennis problem, and I don't think I've ever seen somebody perspire quite as much as Dennis does when he meets a lady who was improperly dressed for that time of day. But let's start with Dennis's first call.
Andy Peters, she was having a drink at that time of day.
Mrs. Wilson, is it?
Oh.
How are you?
Oh, hello.
I'm from the BBC Replacement Windows. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're Irish, are you?
Of course I am. You got the gift of the gab as well. So we're going to have a little chat about replacement windows.
What's that?
Well, we've got them all in a folder here.
You do.
You're Irish, that's your main thing, isn't it? That's your main thing.
Oh, no, I don't like men in my house.
Oh, do you not?
No, sorry, because I get very nervous and the dog gets very silly.
Does he? Mind you, this is a fairly quiet road you live on, is it? It's not too busy for traffic, is it? You don't get a lot of noise, do you?
Well, I don't get noise because I can't hear half the time. I've got an hearing aid,
Right.
so
Well, what we're going to try and see if you're interested in, we've got some nice brochures here.
What are you suggesting? I have plastic windows then?
Well, it's like a plastic type stuff.
Yeah, stuff. What's a plastic stuff?
Oh, she's interrogating him.
Because it's good wood, isn't it?
Yeah, you're very good. You could sell replacement windows better than me. Well, I've got to go back and see Mrs. Wilson at 3:30, 4 o'clock. The problem is, will she hear the doorbell?
Interrogative.
Anyway, let's try again. A dog. A big dog.
The Edmonds playing a recording again.
Yeah. Mr. McStay, is it? Yeah. How are you? All right. Dennis Taylor from BBC Replacement Windows.
Oh, he's the bloke from the Nicholas Parsons one who got in the car, wanted to buy it, and then ran off after crashing it.
I found a wolfhound, is it? An Irish wolfhound, is it? As I say, we're sort of here to see if you might be interested. Is that the dog again?
Sounded like a burp.
Make sure you keep the door closed, will you? Because I've got another exhibition in February next year. Close this door as well, then. It's quite safe, is it now? Yeah. Well, that can't be an Irish wolfhound. You're joking. It sounds more like a lion. Is he gone? Is he out the back now?
Come back later and give us an estimate.
What's that doing, Noel? That's not doing anything.
I mean, Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry and all the other boys would have loved me to have gone in there. It would have made their season a little bit easier because I started playing quite well again. But it's not easy, with one hand, is it, to play snooker? I don't know. It's a tough life, isn't it? Dear me.
What? Some man wants to speak to you about
very much. You're a gentleman. Mrs. Green, how are you? Is this your son here, yeah?
Johnny. Oh, John, go and play with the computer or something. What's happening?
Here, we're just wondering if you might have been interested in having some new BBC replacement windows. But you see now you've got the
BBC
window open,
replacement
you're not
windows.
afraid of
I
burglars
don't
or
understand the
anything like
concept of this programme.
Who's going to come here?
Well, I'm
Grab
just...
hold of me. An excitement.
Are you going out tonight? Are you getting ready for...
Yeah, I'm going to get... Well, I knew you were coming, so I was going to get myself all dressed up, but you came a bit too soon.
So you might be interested if we...
Yeah. Oh, well, come in. Come in, have a cup of tea or something. Why don't you come in for a minute?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah. I see. Have you got a dog?
No, at the back.
Oh, it's out the back.
The lights are on the van, not the filters. Bring them down. Okay, then let's have a quick look anyway. Is that all right?
You sure?
If you go in...
I see the producer.
There'll be two, and there'll be...
Over there. Okay.
I'll go and check Harry and Molly.
Nervousness.
That's a bit nervous for me. I've never done this before.
Sorry. Hello.
I don't understand how they've got him to do this. What does he think he's making or doing?
I've been to 3 or 4.
Oh, look, she's getting the booze out again.
Just a soft drink if you've got.
A soft?
Bitter lemon would be fine, yeah.
Okay. What did you say your name was? Dennis?
Dennis the Menace. Taylor, Dennis Taylor.
Snooker player.
Correct.
What the hell are you doing here? What? The girls won't believe it. The girls won't believe it. I'll say...
I wonder if he
in the place.
suspects
Do you think I'll be able to sell windows?
because of her acting. Because he gave her a look there as if to say,
About 10 minutes ago.
you know, where's all this going?
Millimetre gap between the window, which helps.
So you keep turning it around. I have to keep getting closer because I can't see what's happening. Yeah, go on.
Nice excuse.
You're making me nervous here.
You're making me nervous, don't you say?
I thought they were coming in with their cameras.
I know,
Where
where
have
are
they
they?
gone?
They'll be here in a minute, getting their things.
So you got the security, you got the... well, they improved the look of your home as well, although yours looks very
I
nice
can't
anyway.
concentrate properly because I keep thinking of Dennis Taylor, the snooker man, and that everyone's here. Let's look at your hands. You wouldn't have thought they would have gone round a queue, would you?
As opposed to what? To what? What's she saying? I don't think your fingers could bend. What?
Best fans are over 60. I'm quite happy about that.
Oh, it's made me all sad.
So, the lefties here, I've run out of stuff to say about them.
All right.
I hope that's not your husband, is it?
Oh, I think it's just Dave. Yeah, it's just come back in.
Your husband?
Yeah.
Good job I've got these in my hand. If I hadn't got these in my hand, I'm sitting beside you on a settee with a bitter lemon.
Dave, you never get through.
He's seen it. He's seen it.
Look who it is, though. It's Dennis Taylor, the snooker player.
I've seen you on a telly.
I've seen you.
I've fucking seen you. Nice, nice, nice. Is it? Oh, okay. That's one of them things where...
Dennis Taylor. Hey, got your Oscar, sir.
See, this is the interesting thing, right? Is that he might say afterwards, oh, I was really nervous, the sweat's pouring off of me. But at the time, it's hard for us visually to gauge that. We sort of go, is he nervous? I don't know if he's nervous. Oh, I'm not sure. Whereas the Nicholas Parsons one, it was very obvious that he was out of his fucking depth and pissed off. And I think that's where that's going to be going. Like, this stuff is like, oh, I was a bit nervous and I didn't know what was going on. I think that's going to give way, and the public, Nicholas Parsons, you're being accused of something that's not your fault, and all of this stuff's happening, and it's not your fault, and people are questioning you, and it's not nothing to do with you. I think that's more where gotchas are going to be going, and these ideas like this are not something I really remember that much. So I think when it gets tried and tested, these will fall away.
It's good, isn't it?
I've never perspired so much.
What would you have done if I hadn't come back?
I don't know what. I'm just wondering what
Got my
my
knob
wife's
out.
thinking about.
What are the rest of the guys on the circuit
Well, I
going to
know
say?
they're all. Stephen Hendry in particular is waiting to see that. I'm going to get so much stick because the Masters is on.
He was on in the gunge tank, not the gunge tank, the Grabber Grand, wasn't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest. Dennis Taylor, gotcha.
Oh, Noel says it like he knows all about that. He probably does, to be fair, but more from the 70s.
The moments that we've been waiting for. I understand that it is a very, very close run thing. Thank you for all the calls. Which will it be? Is it going to be Alan Jameson or Derek Jameson? Here's the final voting.
She's got slightly more in the end. God, some people in the audience fucking gunning for it.
This is something to talk about on your radio.
Genuinely excited.
To be fair about this, I'm going to give you 20 seconds because you do have the gift of the gab. Any reason why we shouldn't carry on?
I seem to remember him being an odious git, but I can't remember that much else.
Just a moment. In what way are you going to get me?
Any way at all.
The trouble is, Derek, it's a very long queue at the moment. You're way down. Don't way down the queue beyond DLT, are they?
When I get you.
Have you had a suit very long?
She wanted a better view. She didn't want to sit there passively. She wanted to look at it head on.
So good for your complexion. Would you dare to give him a kiss?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was going to.
I do love being in show business.
Just think it might have been tap water. Anyway, thank you both very much indeed. Thank you, Ellen. Derek Jameson, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if it's a recording or what, but his teeth look really yellow then.
Hello, Mark.
Not that I can talk.
Got you, Mark Watson in Luton. And what do you do? You work for Vauxhall in Luton. What would you do with the money?
Fuck all, did he say? Oh.
Yeah, how old is she?
One on Tuesday.
Just one on Tuesday, so you could give her a really super birthday.
I thought he said fuck all.
I could offer you under one lid £1,000, or I could offer you under another lid the chance to become a millionaire, because we have got 3 million
Lira.
3
Lira,
million
okay.
So what's it going to be? £1,000 under one, 3 million lira under the other. Do you want A or B?
B.
You want B? You've got the lira! That actually equates to around about £1,336, and to go grabbing one of our finest Olympic athletes of all time, Duncan Goodhew!
The problem with that is there's a lot of notes there. There must be small denominations, comparatively speaking. It makes this harder.
Mark, I'm going to try my best, but they stripped all the double-sided tape off me. Double-sided tape? I've got another idea. Right, in you go, in you go. Right, there we are. Splendid stuff. Will he get 20 seconds or a minute? The money's going in. Don't, not yet. Not until I say go. Not until I say go. The 3 questions. Which part of the United Kingdom has been campaigning for independence this week? Did you say Scotland? Did you say Scotland?
Yeah.
Yes. What anniversary is the Queen celebrating of her accession to the throne?
40 years.
Pardon?
40 years.
Yes. Who got their MG car back after 5 years this week?
Terry White.
Terry White, yes. A whole minute. Go, 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 go. He's got it. He's got it.
To be fair, Noel helped him a lot there with the questions, and Duncan Goodhew has got a net. He's also extremely tall with big hands. But there's a lot of notes, so it's probably fair. Oh, you know what? He might be better off just using the net with one hand and grabbing with the other and shoving it all in the net. I think there's a bit too much network going on. It's like he's catching butterflies. You know what? He's hardly got any, to be honest, has he? Get some more in there. Noel's got a few. Look, there you go.
Did it work? Did your ingenious device really work? Careful how you put them in, because they go a bit funny. Have you got them all out there?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
Okay,
All
that's
out
it
my
there.
swimming pool
So
net.
we've got 950,000. £1 million. Just under £1 million. What does that equate to? £423. Mark, 423 for your child. What's her name?
Did someone just shout, is that all, Noel?
I didn't hear it.
D.
B?
D.
D?
Yes.
Goodness, you talk to him, the man's a fool. If you want to try and win the money game, don't forget the question. Want to know how many fours will there be scored in the test match on the 4th day? I.e. you can watch tomorrow and find out if your prediction is right. 0891 404 505. Give us a call on that number, and we keep the lines open for 2 hours now. In just a moment, Jim Davison will be around with a big break. Next week, we're back at the Antiques Roadshow for a Gotcha Oscar, and we've got Joe Longthorne dropping in. And who else might come through the door? You never know, because we might just come to you. Good night!
Well, that all sort of fell a bit flat at the end there, isn't it? Like, he said he worked for Vauxhall, right? I thought he said fuck all. Maybe it's because that's what I'm doing for a job right now. Right, everyone, thank you very much for that, and see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.